Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Steve-O from Sugarland, providing you a full overview and review of the Samsung Galaxy Tab S4. Now, I did receive this from the insiders with the keyboard cover, and I definitely want to thank them for allowing me the opportunity to really test this bad boy out. I think if you want to hear my overall thoughts without having to listen to a 15-20 minute etc video, here it comes, right? So if you are in the market for a really great tablet that would be a nice I would say add-on to your laptop experience, this is a definite purchase. I mean, you can call it a scale of 1 to 100. I would say you definitely want to get this unit to add on to your technology, supply, because it really does function very nicely as a pseudo laptop. And I'm going to say this with a caveat, right? So here's the thing. In my job, I use Microsoft Office every single day. I use PowerPoint extensively. I use Excel very extensively, creating lots of formulas, creating slides, etc. in PowerPoint. Where I'm challenged is that Android's version of Microsoft Office is not a full version as you would see it on a laptop. So is this going to be for someone who is big into Office, and I say big, is using Office a ton in their current day-to-day activities with the slides and spreadsheets? Is this going to be your daily driver, or is this going to replace your Lenovo laptop or your Dell laptop or even your Galaxy Book? The answer is no, definitely not. If you are looking to use this to take this on vacation somewhere, the portability, the battery life, will it do emails? Will you be able to do create some Excel spreadsheets and PowerPoint slides? Absolutely, but not to the level that you could do it on a true laptop, Windows 10 unit, or even a MacBook. Flat out, that's going to be the gist. So if you want to take this on an airplane and watch a bunch of videos, and you still want to sit at the hotel and use Wi-Fi and be able to check emails and write some Word documents, whatever, then this is fine. This is going to work great. There is some great things to it that I think give some advantages over a laptop, but again, you're going to be stuck with the inability to really dig in and really create those PowerPoint slides and Excel spreadsheets and work on them like you normally would on a laptop. So with that being said, what I want to do is kind of rewind the tape a little bit. I want to cover off on a few things that I didn't do on the unboxing, talk about what's in the box, go over a few accessories that I purchased, and then do a deeper dive into this actual unit itself, some of the things that I like and some of the things that I dislike about this unit. So first things first is that let's take this unit out of the keyboard case. Nice thing is they made this a little difficult to get out, so it's not going to just pop right out without any work. As you can see, I am struggling pretty significantly to get this sucker out, so I apologize for that. So here we go, right? So let's talk about what's going on in the unit, and we could talk about some I don't use tablets to take pictures, so for me to say, well, this is something you would use for your daughter's recital or your son's football game, I would say this definitely is not the unit, because you look like kind of a moron holding this thing up, taking pictures or videos. But you do have your front-facing camera if you ever want to Skype. It does have the two, looks like iris detectors. I think it's what that is. I'm just guessing, because it does have the biometrics to look at your face and iris to unlock, and we'll get into that in a little bit. But let's just kind of go through a couple things, right? So you'll notice there's a speaker grill there. There's a microphone there. I'm going to cover it up with my finger. There's another speaker right there. What you're going to find here is a power button, your volume rocker up and down, another microphone. This right here is going to be where you're going to put your micro SD card, which is nice, right? So for all the Apple fan folks, you're just going to have to pay the money up front to get a unit that has a lot of memory. With this one, I just slapped in a 256 gigabyte card, and I was ready to rock and roll. You'll see another speaker grill right there, a 3.5 millimeter jack, USB-C charging port, and another speaker grill. And then this right here is going to be your magnetic piece for your keyboard. Okay, so put this sucker back in the keyboard case, which by the way I really like. It's a nice case or what have you. What I want to do is touch on a couple items that I didn't cover that came in the box during the unboxing. And that is, the first thing is that for anyone that's ever owned a Samsung Galaxy Note, what comes with any kind of S Pen, it's going to be your stylus tip removal tool as well as some extra tips. And sure enough, Samsung gave me some of those. The other one, which looks awfully reminiscent of a SIM card eject tool, this is going to help you eject where the micro SD card is. To put in another card or just put one in general. So that's what that is. I did purchase, I'm gonna move this to the side for just a minute. I did purchase the Tab S4 book cover, which I really like because not always will I need the keyboard, and it will be nice just to have like a nice little cover. You can see that it has the usual felt lining on the inside. It has this plastic piece right here. You'll see that uses the shell. You'll see these on a lot of the Samsung cases, whether it's for the tablet or your phones, your Note or your S9 Plus or whatever. It has that typical shell. What's here is your S Pen holder. And I'm going to get into that and actually, you know what, I'm just touch on it now. Honestly, guys, what I don't like is how that sits out like that. I really wish they would have put that on the top or something. Again, it's a personal preference piece because it seems like, so it's super easy to just pop right off. You see, I didn't really do anything to get that off. What I'd warn you is that if you have this on your book cover, you saw it on my keyboard cover, that thing comes off super easy. So I would put this in your bag and just leave it there. Otherwise, you're going to be spending, I believe it's $60 getting a new S Pen. So just food for thought. So that, again, that's just my personal take on. Let me do this. Let me take this guy out and let me put it in the keyboard cover. You can see it did a nice job with this shell cover because it really does make it kind of difficult to get in and out. So what comes with this guy, right, is the ability for it to, what it does, as I say, it gives you the option for 2 viewing angles. If I can, again, I apologize for this is kind of it's kind of hard to, there it goes. Okay, so you have 2 viewing angles, right? The first one is, I did have it. Okay, there it goes. Hang on a minute. See, this is the struggle. Okay, so it has 2 viewing angles, right? So first is going to be this one, right? This is something very standard you guys have seen with iPads and what have you. And of course, you can always do it like, I'm having some struggles here, like this, right? So just like that. So you have those 2 options. Kind of nice. It actually shows you on the inside cover. Let me just do this real quick. So this is what it looks like here, right? Really nice and thin, perfect to throw in your bag, protects the unit. And again, like I say, with that S Pen holder sticking out, it goes in here. And you can see that what it's going to do is it is going to be easy to just, I mean, look how easy that was for it to come out. My thought is, again, just put that in your bag. You don't really need that. But overall, I think it's a nice, like I say, it's nice to, if you just want to watch movies, you're not really interested in carrying the keyboard, then you're in a good place, right? So you'll see that, I'm in this book setting. It's not in Dex mode, and so you can obviously reset those 2 icons to be whatever you want. But you just, go right into it and you're ready to go, right? I mean, it's really, really easy, super fast, no hiccups. So the point is, I really like this case, something that you could use when you're watching a movie on a plane or what have you. So let me take this out. The other accessory that I bought is going to be this Logitech mouse. If I don't know if you can see that or not, my guess is probably no. But it's the M535 Bluetooth mouse. I got it from Amazon. I mean, I want to say like maybe 20 bucks. And what it does is and I'll show you, really gives you that true laptop experience that you might be looking for. Because again, going back to my initial comment, if you're not a huge user of Excel or PowerPoint, you're not creating these really extensive slides or spreadsheets, then definitely the mouse with this unit really makes this gives you that true laptop experience. Okay, so let me turn the mouse off and kind of go through. So there's two modes that this particular unit has. One is your Android tablet OS type feel. Looks just like your typical Android phone, your Galaxy Note 9, whatever. You swipe across for all of your apps on your desktop. You swipe up for all your apps back and forth. You can do all kinds of stuff. You can say, hey, I want to search my tablet. You can type in Excel. And there it is, bang, right? So there it is right there, right? So you're in a good place. Really easy to use. Not really needed to have the mouse on because, like I say, it works really well. Where my challenge was, why I need the mouse more, is when you get into Dex mode because you lose what I would call your touch sensitivity. So let's kind of go through a few things that obviously I like, right? And one is that true feel of I'm on a Android, right? I think it's just smooth as butter, right? No hiccups whatsoever. I mean, I've had multi apps working in the background, no issues whatsoever. Works great, right? No hiccups whatsoever. I do like that. I like that it's nice and thin. I like the apps that are available for the tablet, right? So one of the two things that I use this for, other than a office type setting, is watching movies, which through either Xfinity Stream or through Prime Video. When I went into Dex mode, both of these apps had trouble working, and in fact, Ring did as well. In fact, Ring as a whole did not work in Dex mode, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. So, when you get into Ring, so you see, always there. I've got some things turned off for this video, but you'll see it works fine. It opened up great, no hiccups whatsoever. If I go into Prime Video, right, opens up, I can go right into Prime Video, works great, right? No hiccups, smooth as butter, right? I want to go into Xfinity Stream. You can see it's loading up. Super fast. Obviously, it's here I am saying it's fast, and there's a little bit of a slowdown there, but you can see that no issues whatsoever. So I can get out of that. One of my favorite weather apps is Radar Scope. You can see, whoops, hold on a minute, let's go back to that. You can see that was an error on my part. So one of the things you can do with this unit, as you can your new Galaxy Note 9 or Galaxy S9 or S9 Plus, is you tap on this and it will hide that navigation bar. So you can see, works great, works no problems whatsoever. Right? So let me go through some of the software functions, right, or some of the settings, right, because I think it's important to know, right? So you go into your typical setup. You'll see your connections. You've got sound and vibration. You've got your notifications. You can set up what you want to use as it relates to how you want to be notified. Your display. Wallpapers, you can type in whatever. I did some writing where I was doing my signature on using the S Pen. Sorry, I was on wallpapers already. Here's your advanced features. You can go into manage your S Pen, very similar to what you see with your Note 9 series phone or your Note series phones. Apologize, and we'll get into that in a minute. You've got your device maintenance, which is going to say, hey, look, you can do that optimize now. Same thing again, you've seen nothing new here. These are things that you guys have seen on all of the typical new Galaxy devices. Apps, lock screen, here's this biometrics, right? So one of the things that I've been challenged with this particular device is that even when I registered my iris and face recognition, the challenge that I ran into was that even when I did multiple tries to do the iris and face recognition. When the unit is like this, when you turn it on, it for whatever reason had a harder time recognizing my face and my eyes, and it just didn't seem to work that well. And there was a lot of stuttering that went on. So as a result, I just turned that off, and I just went with my usual pattern to get in and out. You've got your Samsung Cloud settings, you got accessibility, general management, etc. Now, one of the settings I think that's important to note is the Samsung Dex settings, right? So you can set it up to where when you get into Dex mode, right, what'll happen is, let me just type that in, Dex, because you can, Samsung Dex. One of the things you can set up is auto start when book cover is connected. Auto start when HDMI is connected. Now understand, in order for this to work, you're going to have to get one of the adapters that Samsung is selling right now to allow you to get to the HDMI setting, unless you get or get some form of adapter, obviously, right? I turned off this auto start when going into book cover mode, because what happens is that when you put it in the, if you're in the Android mode or just a tablet mode, and you drop it down into this mode right here, it will go directly into Dex mode. What I don't like is that when you actually removed it from the keyboard itself, it will not take you back to tablet mode, which I think even though I like the Dex mode, the actual unit seem to work better in the tablet mode. So, and I'm gonna get into the Dex mode. I think bottom line is that if anyone has ever played with a Galaxy S device or a Galaxy Note device, this thing works just like it. It's just a huge version of a Galaxy Note 9, period. I mean, everything works literally the same. So let's get into the Dex mode, because this is where I think the unit really becomes more of that laptop experience. So you'll go to Samsung Dex, and this is why I bought the mouse, because again, if you're using this to replace your laptop, then you're going to need the mouse. I'm just here to tell you. So you'll notice that, remember all those apps that I was talking about that I had open? So there's Excel, there's Ring, there's Prime Video, Xfinity Stream, Radar Scope, and Settings, right? So here is one of the things that I don't like about this particular unit. So I tap on of course, now that I'm showing you this, it is working. But there's a situation where I just tapped on the apps button and nothing happened. Sometimes there is that stutter. See, I just tapped it, nothing happened. Tapped it, nothing happened. Now, so I'm going to turn my mouse back on. And by the way, the mouse works on both tablet and in Dex mode. See how fast that worked? When I click on here, works. Go right into your apps, no problem. No problem. No problem at all, right? Works great. You'll see this looks just like a Windows 10 desktop experience. You've got your date. Look here, when you click on that, guess what happens? You've got your calendar that pops up just like it would on your Windows 10 unit. Here's your Finder. This is a way for you to do a screenshot. This is your volume. I'm using my mouse, so I apologize if I'm kind of cruising through this. This is your on-screen keyboard. You click on that, your keyboard pops up, and it's got all of your smiley faces, your stickers, your GIFs, however you pronounce that. I know there's a debate about that. Here's your Samsung Dex Labs. Let me kind of walk you through what that is. What it says is that, do you want to auto-open a last app, have that turned off, or force apps to resize? One of the things I noticed is that when I went to Amazon Prime, and even though I had this item circled, guess what happened? It didn't resize it. I had to go back to tablet mode and then go back into Dex mode, and it seemed to work fine. When you click on this is going to give you all of your quick settings, which we would normally get from your tablet mode. What you'll notice is that all of your normal functions that you get on your tablet mode do not work in Dex mode. So you're used to swiping up and down, pulling down to get your settings, that you're just going to lose all of that, which is okay because it's supposed to operate in a tablet-like mode or a laptop-like mode. Here's battery, here's Wi-Fi, here's Bluetooth, here's weather, right? All your weather. And then if you want to minimize that, you just click on that arrow. I know that I'm kind of moving fast, but you'll see my mouse and just expand it out, right? So remember I was telling you that Ring doesn't seem to play nicely in Dex mode. So when I click on this, it says it won't go into the full mode, and it will tell you, do you want to restart this app? Because you're going to get that a lot when you get into Dex mode for apps that still are not set up for Dex. And even so, here's an example where literally this app will not expand in Dex mode. It just will not do it. So you'll notice that what happened is that I still clicked the X to close the app. What you'll notice is that even though it basically does not show up here anymore on my apps that are somewhat running in the background, when I click on my recent app button over here, you'll see that Ring is still open. So just something food for thought, right? Shows you all the apps that I have open. And again, I'm using the scroll function on the mouse to go up and down. Works very nicely. Okay, so let's say I want to get out of this. And so I think, see, I really have not really played with this. So let's just say I want to go back to Ring, and it's giving me trouble. So there it is. So one of the things that I've identified is an issue in Dex mode is the Samsung Internet page, right, or the app itself. So let's find that real quick. Let's go to Internet. Okay, notice it's here we go, right? Let's go to New tab, and I'm going to type here. Look here. So I am trying to tap. Let's type in Yahoo, for example, right? Notice that even though the box should be here, where I'm typing, it shows up right here. I don't know why it does that, because if I go to Chrome, one of my favorite places to buy stuff is B&H Photo. Let's see here. So let me go back to here, and let's type in Yahoo. Notice it works just fine here. Works just fine. No problems whatsoever. But when I go back to Samsung Internet, or I type in anything, right? Let's type in Samsung. It will not go into the normal search box. I don't know what that is. To me, I think there's some sort of issue with the actual app itself. But this is something they're going to need to update, because again, I was like trying to figure out why it will not. Because if I back out of it, right? If I try to backspace out of it, even though I want to click here, just start typing. See, there's an issue with something going on with that, right? I don't know why that is. I for the life of me can't seem to figure it out. Like why, go back to Google and there's where the cursor shows up. So here's what I will tell you. When you're in Dex mode, you're better off using Chrome than you are Samsung Internet, because there are some bugs that are going on with this particular app. So this is kind of a summary of Dex. I think it really works nicely. I can't open my email because there's some information I can't put on the internet. But I mean, the bottom line is that I use this app for my work email, so I can't open that up. But I'll tell you that this app works great. I get all of my notifications just fine for email. Outlook works great. Gmail works great. Excel works fine, but again, it's kind of a dumbed down version, right? So let's do this, right? So the other thing too I'm going to point out is, guess what, right? So if you're in Dex mode, you can use your S Pen as a mouse, right? So those of you who didn't want to get a mouse could use this. But one thing you're going to notice is that I'm pressing the Air Command button, and guess what? It does not. S Pen Air Command does not work in Dex mode. So if you're wanting to use the S Pen to take your notes, to write whatever, then you cannot do that in Dex mode. So even if you shut off the unit, you shut it down, you go to bed, like, okay, I'm going to get up and I'm going to use this unit again. It will take you right back to where you were. So here I am in Dex mode, and guess what? Still can't use my S Pen. So if you're wanting to jot down a note, see, again, you can't. I'm so used to using it, my phone, and this is a tablet that, so, and I can't open my notes section again because there's information I can't have on the internet. But the bottom line is that your S Pen's not going to work in Dex mode. So let's get out of it, right? So again, you're going to go to your settings, and you're going to click on your tablet mode, because again, Dex is going to be specifically for work. So depends on where you're going to spend most of your time. So here I am back in my usual tablet mode. And let's pull out my S Pen, and you're going to click on the S Pen here. And there you go. There's Air Command. This is something you guys have seen in all your Note series. It has all the same functions as you can imagine, as you would see on your Galaxy Note 9. You know, it's got your create your note, so you can create your note, and you can start writing. Hi, right? You can change your the width of the pen, the color of the pen, all that kind of stuff, right? You can click save. You can say, look, I don't want to do any of that stuff. And there's your Air Command icon, as you would see it on your Galaxy Note. Works just the same way. Smart Select. Here's your screen write. So, for example, you're in now. So remember, I was telling you about the issue that I found with the Dex Mode. For whatever reason, guess what? Doesn't happen here. This is all. See, I'm trying to figure out, I'm sure you guys are watching what's going on with this whole deal with Kavanaugh, whatever. I honestly, I'm 46 years old, had no idea what Devil's Triangle is. Pardon my stupidity. But in any case, you'll notice that this thing works just fine, right? When I'm working here. But whenever I start to type in, in Dex Mode, it just will not do that. For whatever reason, this works fine. When you're in tablet mode. Again, I think it's a glitch with this particular, or a bug in this particular app that needs to be fixed. So let's say that, let me go back to Yahoo, right? Because I want to do a, you see, so I've got the pen out. I'm going to click my Air Command, and I want to do a Smart Select. Obviously, get the disclaimer. You can do your typical thing you want to do, as always, and be able to share that or save it or draw on it or whatever. So it works the same way as your Galaxy Note series. So again, you've got live message, translate, pin up, and you can add shortcuts, and it will obviously, you can pick up any of your apps you're currently using if you want to do that, right? So again, when you're in tablet mode, the S Pen does work as your mouse if you so choose to do so, which is kind of cool. But I didn't notice any sensitivity issues as it relates to the pen itself in terms of it working. Of course, what's funny is that as soon as I pulled the S Pen away and put it in the holder, that icon did go away. In terms of multitasking, I think that it does a nice job. You can see that it also offers you the option, right, of doing the split screen for multitasking back and forth. You can obviously do a swap, switch windows back and forth. Really, really nice functions if you want to be able to multitask. Something I find to be extremely useful. And what's noticed is that if you want to go back to your home screen, you'll see that this is still open. So you can go click on here and go back to your split screen again. So you saw how easy that was. And again, I use the mouse just because I find it super easy to use, right? If you want to close out of it, you just click on the X to get out, and guess what? You're back to your normal tablet mode. Battery life. So literally, I will tell you, I think that this unit will go a full 8 to 9 hours without the need of a recharge. I've not had any issues with battery whatsoever. Keep in mind, it's still relatively new. I think some more testing will be needed for me to truly give you a fair assessment of the battery. I will tell you easily 8 or 9 hours. In terms of video quality, I would say that, let's just go to YouTube real quick. You guys will get an idea of, go to YouTube. And let's go to one of my favorite viewers is, what's up, everybody? It's your boy Floss. Back again with another video. One of my favorite guys is Flossie Carter. Give a shout out to him because he's awesome. What I'll tell you is that when I go to videos and you look at the video quality, what you're getting from this unit is exceptional. I would say that when you're watching anything in full mode, full video mode, you get great picture quality. HD movies look fantastic. This unit as a whole, like I say, is just a really, really top line unit. I haven't had it. There's been some complaints online about the processor being relatively old. Does it have enough memory to run in the background? Is there enough RAM out there for it to really multitask? And I've not had any hiccups. Now, I'm a Office guy. I use a lot of, as I mentioned before, Microsoft Office applications. I think that works great. No hiccups whatsoever. Again, it boils down to what you're trying to do. So when you're looking at, should I get this unit? Again, I'm going to say this again. What I do like about this unit is its portability. What I do like is the S Pen. I think it's kind of cool that you can do all the same things on this unit as you can the Note 9, which I currently own. What I don't like is I really wish that Samsung would have created the option of me being able to go back and forth between when the unit goes out of keyboard mode, because you notice the unit just kind of goes into sleep mode when you pull it off to put it away. But why is it that it doesn't know to be able to go from Dex to out of Dex whenever you undo that? That part I don't understand. That's something they need to fix. Other than that, I would say this is, if you are in the market for a top line tablet that is as close to a laptop as possible, this is the way to go. Now, the price on this unit with the keyboard right now, the unit itself on the 60, because this is a 64 gig model, is going to run you $649. They are offering you half off on the keyboard, so instead of it being $150, it's going to be $75. So you're looking at $725 for the unit and the keyboard case. Can you get a Chromebook for less? Yes. Will it have the same functionality? Will it have the same, that you're not going to have the S Pen? Are you going to have all the other functionalities? I would say this is probably a better option. Now, I do own the Galaxy Book. In fact, let me just grab that real quick to show size. Again, I apologize, but I want to run into the room and I wanted to grab the Galaxy Book and I wanted to compare the Galaxy Book to this unit. This is the 12-inch Galaxy Book, so obviously it's going to be much larger, but it will give you an idea of size comparison to the two, right? So you can see, let me back it up a little bit. The back is the Galaxy Book. You can see how much smaller it is. So remember I talked about in the first portion of the video about portability. Let me take them out of their respective cases and do because I just showed you with the case on. And do that side by side. Let me turn this off. Let's see here, so you can see all that. Of course, now I'm having a hard time finding the power off button. So here you go, right? So here's the side by side, right? There you go, side by side. You can see how much larger the Galaxy Book 12-inch is. Now you're like, well, duh, because it's a 12-inch versus the, I believe it's spec-wise. Let's see what it says. I believe it says 10.5 inch. So you're like, well, duh, of course it's going to be smaller. But I just want to show you that. In terms of thickness, literally it's the same. I'm going to back up a little bit here on this. Literally about the same. About the same. So like I say, this is going to be for those of you traveling wherever. You're looking for a very portable unit for you to go and take it on your trip, do what you need to do. This is going to be a great option for you. Again, that Galaxy Book 12-inch, and I'm kind of rambling here, but I think the point here is that the Galaxy Book 12-inch is going to run you about $1,200. This is going to run you $750 with the keyboard. If you want to get that bookcase, I believe that I got that from B&H Video for about $60. This thing I think was about $20. So all in all, I would say this would be a great purchase. I'm excited that I was able to have the chance to use it. My plan is to keep this because this is going to be my vacation Road Warrior unit, and I will reserve my Surface Pro and my Galaxy Book as the as the powerhouse, because that really does a better job. So I hope that this video is helpful for you, for those of you that are debating on which unit to get. Now, what I will say is this, right? Before I close this thing out, and again, I apologize for it being, me rambling on this piece, is that, so your question may be, well, wait a minute. You're comparing it to laptops. What about the iPad Pro? What about that? For me, I think that this is a better unit than the iPad, and I'm going to tell you why. Simply put, you have the option for expandable memory, right? Which I talked about is right here. And you can put all the memory you want in for a heck of a lot cheaper than you can an iPad Pro. The second thing is that the overall cost of this unit in comparison to an iPad Pro, to me, is there's no comparison, because again, you're getting this for $750 with the keyboard. With the iPad Pro, if you're going to get something comparable, you're for sure going to be in $1,000 range, hands down. So it's going to be a cheaper option for you. And guess what? You're not going to get the cool S Pen, because there are some great functionality with that. So I think that's all I have as it relates to the Tab S4. I hope you guys enjoyed this review. If you like what I have to offer, please click the subscribe button, give me a thumbs up, and I will do everything I can to answer any questions you guys have in the comment section, and do what I can to help you guys. So I hope this is helpful, and you guys enjoy the rest of your evening or day whenever you're watching this, and thanks for watching.